Hi, everyone. Success Coach Michelle Weimer here. I want to thank you for joining me today. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about how to make sure that you set up your life's GPS for success. So, really, the topic of today is two-part, and so today we're going to be covering one piece, and the next week the next. But I want you to realize this much. The easiest way to find the best direct route to your desired life really begins with knowing two things: exactly where you are and where you want to go. Because if you don't know those two things, again, I liken this to a GPS system. How are you going to get anywhere, right? If you try to plug in a destination that's random into your phone's GPS, it's not going to give you correct directions. If you don't have your tracking system on, if your phone doesn't know your current location, how can it give you directions to where you want to go? So it's vitally important to get the best direct route to where you want to go by having your GPS set up for success, right? I mean, that just makes sense. So the reality is, it makes the exact same sense in life. If you don't know where you are, you can set a goal, but if you're not clear about where you're starting from, it's really easy to set up actions that don't align with, really getting you from one place to the next. So it's like, okay, so, say, for example, you want to get out of debt and you go, oh, well, I'll just randomly decide I'm going to get out of debt and I'm going to start saving, $1,000 a month. But you don't know how to actually do it. You don't really know where your money goes. You don't even really know maybe how much debt you're truly in. Maybe $1,000 a month isn't going to cut it to actually get yourself out of debt in a year's time. So you've got to know where you're starting from. And that's why these two pieces in setting up yourself for success this year, when you decide to set your goals, and whether it's a yearly goal or a monthly goal or even a weekly goal, is you got to be clear on where you want to go, number one, and how you're going to get there, number two, by knowing then what you're starting from, where you're starting from. Okay, so in order to know how you're going to get there, you've got to know where you're starting from. So that's, as I said, what we're going to talk about briefly today, is, again, why it's so important and how to do that. So then next week, we'll talk about those goals and how to really have clarity and get, specific measurable goals that you can set up the right actions for so that you can achieve them. So this week, where are you? What you need to do with any goal you have is be very clear about where you are. And the easiest way to do that is self-evaluation. Okay, so this is something I do on the regular. I do an overall self-evaluation for myself in terms of making sure that I'm performing at the highest level possible in my personal and professional life. I make sure that I have checked in with myself every single day in that respect. And then I also do a weekly evaluation and a monthly evaluation. Now, that's a general evaluation, but it can be very specific, because at some points I take a look at, all right, how am I showing up with my family? Am I meeting that goal? I have a goal and a desire to be fully present with my family, be engaged with them, be loving, be supportive. And if I'm not evaluating myself on the regular, that can get off track, right? So I'm not reaching that goal. With my business goals, with my financial goals, with my personal goals for myself and my own health, all of those things require self-evaluation in order to make sure that you are going from, that you're very clear where you are, and that you're putting the right actions into place in order to get there. So self-evaluation is one really great way to figure out where you are, where you're starting from. And then more specifically, figuring out, in order to know, where you're starting from, if you have a goal so again, as I mentioned, getting out of debt. You need to evaluate and do some research on exactly where you are. Figure out, okay, how much debt am I in? What are my credit card bills? What's the highest interest rate that I have? Where's all the money going? Are you spending $5 a day on a gourmet coffee that you could actually be save yourself on the average of over $1,000 a year that you could easily put towards getting out of debt? Maybe you can make some other tweaks. So those little, doing that research to figure out where you are by doing the measuring, like where's the money going? What's my, what really is my debt number? And what habits, that's the other piece of it. What habits do I have that need to change? So for example, in this one, it's the habit of, hey, I go get a gourmet coffee every day and I'm spending a lot of money on that. That's a habit I need to change. So those are also ways to evaluate and research so you know exactly where you are. Another easy example for you is, say you want to lose some weight, okay? So first of all, having a random goal of, I want to lose some weight, what that does is it just never gives you that deadline. And, next week when we talk more specifically about setting up winning goals, I'm going to go into greater detail there. But also, when you don't know where you're starting from, you're like, I know I need to lose a few pounds, but I don't really know how many. Or, yeah, I know I need to eat better, but I'm not really paying attention to how I'm eating every day and what my habits are. Those things will keep you from reaching your goal because you don't even know where you're starting from. So again, measure it out, do the research, weigh yourself, measure yourself, measure, around your belly, your butt, your arms, your legs. Get clear. And here's the thing, a lot of people won't do this because it doesn't feel good. You need to lose a little weight, you need to get out of debt, or whatever else it is that is your goal, but these are just our examples today. But it doesn't feel good to know the truth. The reality is, though, if you don't know it, you're not going to reach that goal because you're not going to really know where you're starting from. So measure it out and then observe yourself, So again, with the example of eating and getting healthy and losing some weight, pay attention. Write down what you're eating every day. Pay attention to how it makes you feel. Do you find that you are consuming way too much in the evenings, like you're snacking at night? Pay attention, because when you know those things, that's how you know where you're starting from, and that's how you know what really needs to change in order for you to reach your goal. So that is why it's so very, very important to know where you are. So again, to recap today, know where you are and know where you want to go. That's the way to set yourself up for success. Like any good GPS system, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to have success in any area of your life, you've got to first know where you are and know where you want to go. To know where you are, you need to evaluate, do self-evaluations. You need to do the research. You need to measure, whatever that means for you. And you need to pay attention to your habits so that then you know where you want to go and how you're going to get there. So again, next week, stay tuned. Make sure you check your email. And if you're not already getting my emails, I want you to go to michelleweimer.com/achieve7. What that's going to do for you is it's going to, number one, give you a cool free gift for me. It's the Achieve Success System Starter Kit, and it's going to give you some great details on how to really set yourself up for success. And it's going to get you on my mailing list so that you know when I'm going live. The other thing, is make sure you like in this page. Make sure that you're following me here and that you are coming back and checking in, because I'll be posting when I'm going live. So that way you don't miss it next week for sure. And until next time, this is Success Coach Michelle Weimer. Goodbye for now.